Hey everyone, it has been a while, but I thought I would like to do a quick update on Old Hroldan and also talk a bit about Bleakden Town. So, diving right into it, I just thought I'd give you an update on Old Hroldan. I'll show you a little bit around the town, not too much though, and let you see how progress is going here. So, as you can see, the town is quite a bit bigger. In fact, it feels a lot bigger. I finally found a layout that I'm happy with. Took rather a long time, but I think it's a good layout now. A lot more narrow alleyways. I think of 9 more buildings added to the town. No, hang on. 12. 12 more buildings. As you can see, there is now a guarded entry into the town, which I think it was about time we had that. I mean, seriously, kind of dangerous out there. We need that. And moving on in, as I say, I'm just going to show some. That, of course, is the older part of the town with the bakery there and the guardhouse there, and of course the market square there. So the town has actually built up right up to encompass the inn. So before this was all open. There's a bit more to do on the exteriors, but it's getting there. Quite a few more narrow alleyways and some pretty interesting houses and things going on. Now, I needed to let you know that I'm not doing any quests anymore. I did have at least one quest planned. However, time's growing short. I've been sort of put back a few times and working on the mod. I mean, there was the pay for mods thing, and then I've had a fair few personal issues to deal with before I can get back to working on the mods. So time's short. This is the last thing I have planned for Skyrim. I'm going to be moving on to modding Fallout 4, unless there's something great going on in Skyrim, and you know, I just fancy modding more for it, but really this is pretty much it. So moving on, we have of course the inn here now, and of course the inn's been completely revamped. It was in the last version. I see a little problem there, which I'm just going to yeah. That shouldn't be there, but that's how it is with testing. And down here we have, of course, the stables, which have been closed in. However, because you kind of needed access to the exterior and the wood chopping blocks and everything. Yeah, why not, huh? Why not? A secret exit out of the town. Forget I showed you that for the release. Now moving on, so I'm just showing you a portion of the town here. Over here is the infamous Privy Square, where if you have seen the videos on the town and the NPCs, you know what this is. Oh yeah, it's about time. It's been too long, you know. These poor NPCs, they need somewhere to go. And that's Privy Square. And if you watch the 3rd video that I just released, the town hall meeting, you'll know who's coming to live in this house. Now I'll just show you this house real quick. It won't be called the twins house. So in that video, the town hall meeting, Nesdrin tells us all that he has convinced 2 young Dunmer ladies, twins, to move to Old Hroldan from Windhelm. So he's finally managed to convince somebody else to, and they will be living in this house. And as you can see, every single house has a different layout. I know a lot of people say, well, why are you going to such extra lengths? The player's only going to walk in there and walk out, and what's the point? That's a lot of work for nothing. But yeah, I like to do it. It just makes it more unique. It gives it that extra touch and extra character. So they have their bedrooms on the ground floor, and the 2 lovely ladies that will be joining Old Hroldan, who are not created yet, and if you are a voice actress with good recording equipment and you can pull off a really good Dunmer female, please let me know, because I'm going to need voice acting for these twins. So they will be making their living sewing and making carpets and so forth. Right, so moving on, I'll just show you a little more of the town, then we'll move on to Bleakden. I know it wouldn't be exactly the nicest place to live with the privies right outside your front door, but I don't think Old Hroldan's really the most fashionable place in the world. So there we have the inn, and down here, heading back into the town, I'll just show you a little bit more. Now you remember Septon Way, of course, if you've got the old version, with the lovely view and the walkway, and you could see right at the mountains and over the river, and it was a beautiful spot to stand and admire. Yeah, not anymore. What it is now is another narrow, dark alleyway. I'm just going to let this guard pass. As you can see,
everything's in order.
Yeah, that's good, mate. That's great. As you can see, there is just enough room to pass quite easily. But what we have now is another dark, narrow alley. And over here is Darius's house. Now, you met Darius if you watched two of the videos. The first video, the mayor has a message for MXR, and the third video, which is of course the town hall meeting. Okay, his house isn't done quite yet. He's got a few secrets in his house because this guy is a master thief, which I'm sure you gathered by the end of the last video. I've had a lot of fun doing those videos. There's a couple of reasons why. Firstly, it's fun. Secondly, it's something I can produce that doesn't take like months and months before I've got anything to show. And thirdly, I like to keep my hand in at the dialogue and the scenes and the AI, because you wouldn't believe how easy it is to forget various things and have to look them up again. So it's good practice for me. So that's Darius's house. So I'll show you just one more thing in Old Hroldan. I will mention that I am going to redo the signs, because the signs I did in Bleakden I much prefer. They have more of a weathered look, a peeling paint, and I'm going to be redoing quite a few of the signs for Old Hroldan. I think it needs it to fit into the town a little more. So I'm just going to show you one last really quick thing, and it's not entirely finished. So you remember Dagger Square? I'm sure you do. Hey, Nastrin. It's one of my favourite characters. Absolutely love him. He's brilliant. Yep. It's okay. This is not quite finished. I haven't done the ground texture yet, but yeah, Dagger Square is now open and onto another sort of narrow alleyway. Right, so that is Old Hroldan. I've shown probably more than I ought to. I tend to be very secretive because that way I keep my motivation up and you know, look forward to the big surprise reveal when the mod is released. However, as it's been released before, why not? Oh, one last thing. So there's another exit out of town on the other side. I'm not going to show that right now because that's slightly unfinished. But over the other side, the road that goes through Old Hroldan and it heads off into the hills. Well, there's another exit, but you have to wind through a few alleys in order to get there. So overall, the town feels a lot larger, and I'll just kind of show you here. Do a little cheat. It feels a lot larger. It is a lot larger. There's what, 24 buildings now. It's looking pretty huge. And I think there'll be one more shop. So from here, I think what we'll do is move on to Bleakden, because I have quite a bit to talk about there. Right, see you at Bleakden. And here we are in Bleakden. And if you recall, this was actually one of the pay-for mods. My voice is a little hoarse right now. I've done quite a few takes of this one, but ignoring that and moving on. Yes, Bleakden was one of the pay-for mods, and it was re-released as a free mod after the pay-for mods thing was over. I thought that would be a nice gesture. It was then, I think a month later, removed. And permanently removed, as in it's not coming back. So basically I never had an opportunity to explain that. What happened was, yes, the mod got a lot of negative attention, and I feel very much unwarranted negative attention. However, that's all very well and so forth, but there was then a video review released of it after just as things were quietening down, and it was a very nice and very complimentary video made by Overdue. And it's certainly not their fault, but what happened was the mod got flung into the spotlight again, and unfortunately I did too, and I got a lot of negativity coming up again, slung my way, a lot of personal attacks and a lot of things which at that particular time I didn't feel either obligated or quite frankly I don't want to say able to cope with. My personal situation at that time was difficult. I had a sick family member, and unfortunately I lost said family member, and coming online was very much my haven. So I was coming online to a wave of hate and negativity, and it wasn't on, basically. I made a decision to remove the mod permanently, and it was the right decision. I figured that within a few days it would all die down, and it was. And Overdue very kindly, and I hated to ask, but under the circumstances it was very difficult, they very kindly removed the video review that they had done, and under usual circumstances I would never have asked them to do that. So thankfully, with the removal of the mod, it removed a lot of the pay-for mods negativity, and I don't regret it. What I do regret is inconveniencing the people that were enjoying the mod and the people that were looking forward to playing it. I did not want to do that, and I'm very sorry to have done that. So why am I here now? Well, quite frankly, I absolutely love this little town. I know there's a lot of people that think it's low quality and so forth, and think that there's not a lot of effort put into it. That's very far from the case. I put an immense amount of effort put an immense amount of effort into it, and dealing with the unusual issues that arose in building an underground town, the unique issues, and quite frankly there was very unique issues to deal with that there was no documentation on how to deal with. So it was definitely a challenge to pull it off, really, but it was fun. I loved building it. I love the town. A lot of work has gone into it. A lot of people have contacted me and said, look, I really like this town, really unique. And so at the end of it all, what I have decided is I don't want the work to go to waste. I would still like the town to be enjoyed by people. I'm utterly not going to ever re-release it as Bleakden Town. I don't think that would be a wise thing to do, quite frankly. But what I am going to do, and the reason why I'm here right now showing you the town, let's have a look in this. Here's one of the player houses that you will be able to buy, and it's got, of course, you can look out onto the town. It's got labeled storage. I just want to take this opportunity to mention that every single resource in this mod was created by me. I know there were people saying during the pay for mods thing and after that this mod contained stolen resources. That was Absolutely not true. Every single resource in this mod was created by me, and I very specifically made sure that there was nothing of anyone else's included, because I would never do that, ever. So it's either Bethesda's or it's my mock-up and of to make resources, of their assets to make resources. So I just wanted to clear that up. And here we go, we got the bedroom and the player house. We got pretty unique, my sort of workaround to not having the space to put stairs in, and activatable lights. And of course, if you've got the Old Hroldan mod, you recognize this lot, which is my custom storage containers, or rather labeled storage. So what I am thinking now is oh, let me just unlock this door. There we go. Here's my little key ring. My key hanger I made in Nifscope. What I'm thinking is, as you can see, if you've played this mod before, I've already taken off a section, the lower class section. What I want to do is merge this mod into Old Hroldan, because I would like to put this town underneath Old Hroldan, with its tavern, its very the infamous sign. Well, a lot of people took offense at this. It was quite funny, really. Obviously, you know that when you buy things, it's the price you pay is based on your speech skill. Yeah, so this is just decorative. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yes, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge this into Old Hroldan. I don't want the work to be wasted. I think it would be really good in Old Hroldan. I've cut down the size of the town. What it will do is it will give you, the player, another buyable house. And I'm going to try really hard to keep the apartment in Old Town in the mod, but I cannot promise it. I know a lot of people really enjoyed it because it's a perfect hideout for a thief, for outlaw, and it's got access to Skyrim. It's that little apartment that's right in Old Town. Oh, I guess I could. It's right in Old Town, and it's does this unlock? No, it didn't actually work there. Anyway, another time. It's just a one-level apartment on the second story of a building in the middle of the abandoned part of the town, and it has access directly to Skyrim. Makes a perfect hideaway. A lot of people have contacted me and said they really enjoy the apartment because of the role play. It can really play that sort of criminal or outlaw or on the run for whatever reason. So
got something to say?
I'm going to try and include it. I really am. So what I wanted to let you know was, firstly, why I took down Bleakden, and secondly, that Bleakden's not coming back, and thirdly, that a good portion of Bleakden is going to be merged into Old Hroldan. So you have a heads up on that, and you will have to, there'll be a exterior access, but also you can get to the underground town by going through the window of an abandoned house in Old Hroldan and finding your way down to the town. And the residents here, and I'm thinking maybe 6 or 7 residents, will be how to put it, criminals, outlaws, criminals. That's pretty much it in a nutshell. They'll be voice acted. In fact, I'm hoping to do another NPC video with these particular residents, but that will come if time permits. So that's pretty much everything. Oh, except one more thing. Oh, you can see here. Yeah, needs a fence shop down here. Some of these shops will be converted into houses. The tavern will remain. The player house will remain. Thinking of keeping the inn. The forge, it should remain because there's no other forge in Old Hroldan and I can't find anywhere to put one. So at least there would be a forge for the player to make use of. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You will have to have Dragonborn. The moment I merge this mod into Old Hroldan is the moment that Old Hroldan requires both Hearthfires and Dragonborn. But I don't think that would be a big issue for a lot of people because most people have Dragonborn now. So I just wanted to keep you updated and let you know everything that's going on so you don't think I've disappeared and just vanished into thin air. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and I will keep you further updated when I have further news. Okay, see you later.